So welcome. We'll start in the seat. So take your time. And prop wise today, if you have a block will come in handy. And if you don't, then just a hardcover book you could easily use as well. And then your yoga strap. And I think that's about it for today. We won't use the blanket today. So go ahead and close or soften your eyes. And as you soften your eyes, let the rest of your face soften, the temple, skin, the jaw, the lips. And wash that softness down your neck, across your collarbones, your chest, back body, front body. Relax your belly, the creases of your hips. All the way down to the soles of your feet. And you might find that there's, one blind spot, one part that just doesn't want to let go. So just for a moment here, see if you can bring your attention to it. And it might be a part of your body that you are familiar with, that you work with. That you try to work through this tension. So with your attention on it now, as if there was a lung there, try to direct your breath there. And really what you're doing is directing your attention there. And you might even find just by simply paying attention to a certain part of your experience, your body, it starts to soften around its edges. Good. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, connect your palms in front of your chest, humble your chin. Inhale for Om, and we'll sing the chant. Breathing. Om. Om Sahanao Bhavatu. Sahanao Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinao Aditamastu. Mavi Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Tip your chin down to your heart. Rest your hands down, palms up in your lap. And gently, with closed eyes, relift your head. And slowly, slowly open those eyes. Okay. So we'll start today, grab your block, grab your strap, and we'll begin in Virasana, so sitting onto the shins. And if that's not too comfortable on your knees or your quadriceps, then you can sit up onto something. I'll have a bolster. I'm going to close my window because magpies are like having a rave right outside. Okay. Okay. So you'll take your block between the palms of your hands, and we're going to get into the strap thing in a second, but I want you to try to integrate a little bit more strength into what we've been working with. So if you remember, we've been working with the strap this week, kind of bringing it up and overhead and back and around again, and then doing the side bends. And doing all of that, trying to keep the abdominals and the core just slightly embraced in, so that we're not bending into the most vulnerable part of our spine and our lower back. So maybe I'll show you from the side here. You'll take your block into the palms of your hands, give a little bit of inward pressure into your block, and then begin to flex at your shoulders, reaching your arms up. And then you'll start to find, for me, it's around here. I don't really have great flexion of my shoulders, that there's like this craving to start to let the spine come in on the party so that you can bring your arms further up and overhead. So I don't want you to do that. I want you instead to keep the abdominals contained, keep the inward pressure of your palms, and just reach your thumbs up, hands up, block up as far as you can while you're breathing and while your ribs are staying contained. So for me, it's about there. And then once you find that spot, think about elongating your armpits. So make your arms a little bit longer, and then maybe you can come up a little bit further. And there's likely going to be a little bit of heat and a quiver and frustration, especially if you're doing this in the morning. And then slowly let it come back down. We'll do that just 2 more times, and then we'll get into the sweet stuff. So press your hands to your block, anchor your tail down, so elongate your lower back, and then start to lift the block. Just notice what's being recruited here. Sometimes my neck really wants to do this for me. See if you can neutralize your neck, chin to your chest. The tops of your shoulders are probably a little bit warm by now. Ribs are in, breath is here. And then as you exhale, next out breath, bring your arms down. And then we'll do just 1 more time. So set your back, set your ribs, setting your breath, and then we'll connect palms to block, and then slowly start to rise. And all this is doing is just planting seeds for movements that we take all the time. This is the same as downward facing dog, this movement in the shoulders. This is the same for Urdhva Hastasana, when we stand up and reach the arms up and overhead. So this kind of annoying, meticulous seed planting will help us to keep the integrity in our back body when we land in poses like that. Okay, next out breath, let your arms come down. Okay. So now grab your strap or your scarf or whatever you've been using. And then we'll do that same sequence that we've been doing, same kind of idea. So ribs stay contained, lower back stays long. Find the distance between your hands that works for you, and you just be willing to rearrange and replace your hands closer or wider. Okay, so let's start down at the knees and then lift the strap up and overhead. Thinking about opening up your armpits, not your ribs. And then I'll go a little wider, bring them back and down. And then up and around. As you breathe, just kind of constantly keeping one corner of your mind's eye on your ribs. Just noticing that they're really quiet, not moving, not accommodating this movement really. So trunk is really still, it's just the shoulders and the arms that are moving independently. And hopefully, we've been doing this the last couple of classes. There's a little bit of familiarity, starting to repattern the connection between the mind and the muscles. So you might even feel that even now there's a little bit more space. All right, so bring your arms up, find the stickiest range, and then do the side bend. Elongating your left side, contracting your right. And then elongating your right side, contracting your left. Come back through center and rotate. And come back through center and rotate the other way. Very nice. Come back through center, ditch your strap, and we'll take Anahatasana. This time, since we have it, take your block or your book. And it might take a little finessing, but what I'd like you to do is stack your forearms up onto your block, walk your knees back a little bit, and then slowly start to sink your face. I have a big head. And your chest down. And then, let the ribs splay just for a moment, just so you can feel it. What I feel is pain. It feels really unstable. And then find a little bit of an embrace by pressing down into your forearms and broadening your shoulder blades and hugging your ribs in. And that for me, and it's going to be different from all of us, for me, it migrates the stretch into the armpits and into the lats. So up along the back body, along the sides. So I really encourage you to press down into your block. Find a little bit of integration and do the work to hold your ribs in as much as you can while you're breathing. All right, so press down, rise up, palm the ground. Let's do a couple cat-cows. So with your hands underneath of your shoulders, grip your back body, lift your chest, breathing in. And as you exhale, round out through your spine. Go a number of times, moving with your breath. Now, let go of the meticulous attention, knowing that all of those seeds are planted in your body. You can roll your ribs around, swivel your hips around. Okay, let's find tabletop. Plug down your fingertips, set your hands really thoughtfully. And then with your toes curled in and under, find your neutral spine so that again, even from your neutral spine, sometimes your ribs want to flare out and you dump into your back. It kind of looks like this. But see if instead you could press into your hands, broaden your upper back, cinch your waist in, hold your navel in, and take a full inhale breath. And then as you exhale, plug into your fingertips, plug into your toes, and float your knees off the ground just a couple of inches. You'll start to feel your abdominals contract, your core contained. Take your breath in, and then as you exhale, keep your knees that bent and glide back into downward facing dog. Remembering that this is the same movement that we just did with the block in our hands. So see where you can open up your armpits, elongate through your arms, and take some of the brunt of the work out of your spine and the extension of your spine particularly. So extension is like back bending, but to elongate, maybe you could consider your spine as a part of your hands, as a part of your arms, all the way to the creases of your hips, all one continuation. And then let's roll forward to high plank pose as you inhale. And glide back to down dog as you exhale. Forward again, high plank, breathing in. Ribs contained, downward dog, breathing out. One more time, come on forward, high plank, inhale your breath. And then as you exhale, come back through down dog into a forward fold at the back of your mat. Just one hand and then the other until you land. Go and bring your hands or your feet rather a little bit wider than hips width. Let your belly soften and splay and let your head fall. Look down between your knees. And of course, your knees can stay nice and bent, or you can start to work one leg towards straight as the other knee bends and then switch, kind of like we do in downward dog sometimes. Okay, let's come through center, halfway lift, deep breath in. As you exhale, forward fold. And plug down your feet, roll up to stand up. Heavy head. Then gather your arms up towards the ceiling, remembering that your front ribs are contained. So it's not so much like this, more so like this. And the armpits open as the chest opens. And as you exhale, stretch your arms behind you, fingertips interlace. Keep your elbows nice and bent so that you can feel your shoulders come onto your back body. And then so long as you can keep all of that, start to bend into your knees. Keep slinging your heart forward. Keep your elbows bent for the first little part. And then again, drape your belly onto your thighs. Let your head go. And you can explore this shape with your elbows bent and see where it lands in your shoulders and in your chest. Or if you like, you can start to work your elbows towards straight any amount and feel where the shift moves, where the stretch moves. Okay, untangle your fingers. Bring your hands to the ground, halfway lift your spine, take your breath in. Then as you exhale, crawl forward into your downward facing dog, one hand, then the other, then the other. Set your hands, set your hips, downward dog, and then bring your brain into your ribs. See, check out where they're at. Gently embrace them in. I'll keep inviting you to do that. So come up onto your tippy toes, look forward as you inhale, and then as you exhale, bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of your mat now. When you arrive, halfway lift, hands on shins, hip bones back. And then as you exhale, forward fold, let your head fall heavy. And then this time with straight legs, root to rise, press down, reach up, look up. And as you exhale, thumbs through heart, we'll do one round of the Jiva Mukti sun salutations. So I'll go through the first one a little slower and then the second one more on breath. Okay, so release your arms down by your sides. And as they reach up, hook your thumbs, root your tail, and lift your chest. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward, interlace your fingertips to the small of your back, let your head go. Fingers touch down, right toes step back, runner's lunge, keep your back knee lifted, take your breath in. And then as you exhale, plant your palms and step your front foot back to downward facing dog. Then from your down dog, come forward to high plank pose, shoulders over wrists. And as you exhale, knees come down, chin and chest come down to the ground. Keep your bum up high. Slide through to cobra, squeeze your back body, breathing in. And then through child's pose to down dog as you exhale. Right away, come forward to high plank pose, shoulders over wrists, breathing in. And then from knees or toes, lower halfway, chaturanga. Lift your chest, upward dog, breathing in. To your down dog as you exhale. Right footsteps between your thumbs as you inhale. And then as you breathe out, left foot meets your right foot, top of your mat. Hook your thumbs, lift your chest, take your inhalation. Good, and as you exhale, forward fold again, interlace your fingertips to the small of your back, let your head go. Fingers down, left toes back, deep breath in. Runner's lunge, and as you exhale, downward dog. High plank, inhale. Knees, chest, and chin as you exhale. Cobra, slide through, squeeze your back. And then through child's to down dog as you exhale. High plank, breathe in. Lower half. Rise your chest. And rise your hips. Left foot steps forward. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, right foot steps forward. Hook your thumbs, lift your chest, take your inhale breath. And then as you exhale, swim your arms down by your sides, palms face forward, anchor your tailbone down, chin in, crown up, ribs in. And root into your feet, reach your arms towards the ceiling, ribs hold in, deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly pour yourself forwards and down. Halfway lift, long inhale breath. And as you exhale, please touch your fingertips down, step back into downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, come forward to your high plank position. And then from knees or toes, come all the way down onto your belly. Reach your arms forward, thumbs up, arms like a V. Look down towards the ground and root down to the tops of your feet, the tops of your thighs, your hip bones. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, still looking down, just lift your arms up so that your biceps are in line with your ears. Grip your middle back to do that motion. Stay for an inhale. Then as you exhale, lift your hips and your arms as one unit. Not bending from the low back, not cranking your head up. Grip the middle of your back to lift. Good, then keep that effort there. Take your inhale, and as you exhale, bend your elbows, cactus your arms. One more deep, full breath in. And as you exhale, hands land by your ribs, press back to child's pose, tuck your toes. From your child's pose, please come forward, high plank. And from high plank, ribs in, down dog. Let's go right heel to the ceiling as you inhale. Bend at the knee, roll your thigh up and open. As you exhale, press down a little bit more through your right hand. And come up high onto your left hip toes. Spike your right toes to the ceiling. Inhale here. And as you exhale, curl your knee in towards your nose and place your right foot between your thumbs. Bring your back knee down to the ground. Gather your arms up towards the ceiling. Take your inhale breath. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms as you exhale, keeping your ribs contained, keeping the strength in the middle back. Regather your arms up, but keep the strength there, middle back. And as you exhale, go again, cactus your arms. One more, reach up, breathe in. And then one more, cactus arms, breathing out. Arms up, inhaling. Chest to thighs as you exhale, back knee lifts. Gather your arms up, high crescent lunge on your inhale. And then you guessed it, as you exhale, make fists, elbows by your sides, left knee towards your chest. Always use the wall for balance if you like. Then 2 more times. Left toes back, high lunge breathing in. Elbows by your sides, knee to chest. Go 1 more time. Step back, breathe in, high lunge. And then as you exhale, elbows by the sides, rise up. Okay, remember that back bend. So now start to point your left toes. Contain your front ribs in. Low back and neck really want to do it for us. But see if from the middle of your back, you can start to touch the tip or the base of your skull with your left toes. Like hands on hips, sometimes to help smear the lower back down. Lift the chest up. You can always use the wall again for balance if you need. And it's not to say that the neck and the lower back are going to be flat and the only bend is going to be in the middle back. What I'm saying is if you didn't have any control of it, the lower back would do all of it and the neck would do all of it. So we want to try to isolate some of the bend into the middle of the back rather than dumping into the parts that automatically do it. Reach your arms up if you have your balance. Take your breath in. Cactus your arms as you exhale. And then grip the muscles of your upper back. Really go for it. Toes to the base of your skull. I know it doesn't look like anything, but it feels like a lot, hey? And then slowly come back through to center. Step your left foot down, Tadasana. Let your fingertips drip down. Feel the difference, left side to right side. Let's do chair pose. Sit your hips, lift your arms, take a breath in. Chest to thighs as you exhale. Go again, heavier into your hips, rise up through your arms, breathing in, and chest to thighs, breathing out. Go 1 more time, Utkatasana, arms up, ribs in, breathe in, and chest to thighs, breathe out. Plug your feet, stand up and reach up, inhaling. And as you exhale, slow motion, forward fold. Halfway lift, we lengthen. As you breathe out, bend your knees, plant your hands, step 1 foot back and then the other, downward facing dog. Shake your head, undo your neck. And then reach your left heel up towards the ceiling as you take your next breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knee, roll your thigh up and open, do a rib check. Press your left hand down more, let your head go more. Spike up onto your right tippy toes and bend your left toes to the ceiling, breathing in. And as you exhale, knee to nose, place your left foot between your thumbs and bring your right knee down to the ground. Front knee over front heel, left hip crease draws back, press down, rise up, low lunge on the inhale breath, ribs in. Keep the ribs in as you exhale and cactus your arms. Go again, keep the contraction of your middle back as you reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, cactus your arms. 1 more time, reaching up. And 1 more time, cactus bend. And then arms reach up, take your inhale breath. And as you exhale, stretch back, chest to thighs, back knee lifts. Arms gather up, high crescent lunge on your inhalation. And then as you exhale, elbows by your side, right knee into your chest. Step back again, high lunge on the inhale. And as you exhale, knee to chest. And then 1 more time, step back, inhaling. And then as you exhale, knee to chest. And I promise it's not just because that looks cool. It's to help strengthen and make more efficient the hip flexor. I promise you'll feel less tension there if it becomes strong. So then you point your right toes. Try to keep your lower back nice and neutral. Try to draw your right toes towards the base of your skull. As you keep your ribs contained, as you keep your neck and low back neutral, can you start to build a really deep relationship with the muscles of your middle back? And as you grip those, the heart, the chest open more. And it's a fine dance and balance between opening the chest without opening the ribs. Reach your arms up if you have your balance. Take your breath in. Cactus your arms as you exhale. And then, yeah, go for it. Toes to the base of your skull. Grip your middle back as you breathe. Ribs in. One more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, step down, Tadasana. Hands rest down by your sides. Anchor your tail. Okay, plug down your feet, reach your arms up, take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, slowly pour forward to fold. Halfway lifting, long breath in, long spine. And as you exhale, plant your palms and step back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, come up onto your tippy toes. And as you exhale, come down onto your knees. Okay, so we'll just take the yoga mat and fold it up so that there's a support for your knees for this next thing, okay? So bring your knees onto your yoga mat pad. And look straight down at the ground. Slide your right toes back so that your toes are still on the earth, hips are square. More weight into your right hand as you lift your right leg up off of the ground, and then same kind of deal. If I did it with my lower back, look. But if I do it with my lower back out of the equation, this is where we're at, and that's really good to strengthen the back of the leg. Bend the leg so your heel points up towards the ceiling, and then press your heel higher. So when you're thinking about a back bend, sometimes we just kind of focus in on the spine, but it's the whole back body that's contracting and needs some strength to open up the front body. Reach your left fingertips forward, shift more weight into your right hand, take your breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly stretch back and hold the pinky toe side of your back foot. Keep the contraction of your back leg so you feel your hamstrings. Keep pressing your heel up, opening chest, rotating open towards the left. Breathing. Okay, take one more deep inhale. And then slowly let go as you exhale. Left hand's down. Left shin swivels up towards the left. And then please seal the knife edge of your right foot down towards the ground as you reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. And then keep pressing down the outside edge of your right foot as you swim your right arm up and overhead. Bicep is by your ear. Get nice and long from outer foot through fingertips. Good, and then as you re-reach your right fingertips up, see if you can reach your right heel up. And then again, bend your right heel this time, heel to bum, feel your hamstrings, keep your low back contained, and hold the big toe side of your right foot. Press foot to hand, hand to foot, press your hips towards the long edge of your mat. Good, let your foot go. Let your right foot come down. Swim yourself back forward to the top of your mat. Unswivel your left shin. And then we're going to step the right foot towards the top of the mat. And it's going to be a shorter lunge. It's okay. So 90 degrees-ish. Front knee still over top of your front heel. Anchor your tailbone down. And because this back knee is on padding, this should feel okay. But if it doesn't, then I would just skip it. Anchor your tailbone down, work on lengthening the top of your thigh. If it feels okay for your knee, and only if, start to contract your left hamstring and draw your left heel towards your bum. It should feel terrible. It should feel maybe like a hamstring cramp. If you have a little bit more space, you can reach back and around with right hand and left hand and help the foot up. But my back bent for that. So see if you can neutralize your tail down as you lift your chest up. Ooh, it's wobbly. So steady your gaze onto something that's not moving, so probably not the screen. Hold your ribs in, anchor your tail down. Okay, now your left hamstring contracted, so as you release your foot, it shouldn't slingshot away. You let the foot come down just to air it out, reach your arms up, take your breath in. And then as you exhale, place both hands to the instep of your right foot, step your right knee down next to your left knee, and then we'll take the opposite side. So in your tabletop position, slide your left toe straight back. Keep your low back neutral, hips square, lots of weight into your left hand as you lift your left leg. Back of your leg, glute super engaged. And then bend your left knee, heel to the sky. Keep your low back quiet as you press your heel up. Reach your right fingertips forward, inhaling, and then as you exhale, whoop, hit your wall, and then reach back and around and hold the pinky toe side of your foot. Rotating open towards the right now, chest wide open, back of your left leg is still super strong. Good, give yourself one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, release your foot, bring your right hand down, swivel your right shin out, stretch your left leg long and seal the left foot to the ground. Press your hips forward. And you reach your left arm up towards the ceiling, taking your breath in. And then as you exhale, stretch your left arm up and overhead, bicep by your ear, clearing out through the side waist, glute med, all the way down to your left pinky toe. And then re-reach your left arm high and float your left leg up. Contract your left hamstrings, draw your heel towards your butt, and then reach back and around and hold the big toe side of your foot. And again, lower back is nice and quiet, even if that means you come out of your foot and knee come forward a little. See if you can isolate this more into the middle of your back and more into the extension of your hip, not your lower back. Okay, expand, breathe in, let your left foot come down, left hand comes down, and then you step your left foot forward. Short stance, front knee over front heel. Lower back is long. You might even find just in this 90-degree stance, top of your thigh gets a lot of information. So if you're happy to stay with that, stay. Otherwise, start to bend into your back knee. Ooh, steady your gaze. Use a wall like I am if you need. And then if you have your balance eventually, maybe reaching back and around and grabbing the top of your foot with one hand or both hands. Quiet through your low back. All right, let that go. Bring your hands down, tuck your right toes and step back to down dog. Re-spread your mat. And then let's reach the right heel up towards the ceiling as you inhale. Bend your knee, stack your hip as you exhale. Spike your right toes to the ceiling, breathing in, and as you exhale, step your right foot outside of your right pinky finger. You can fold up your mat again if your back knee needs support here, but we'll do the lizard lunge. So let's just stay through center, glide your hips side to side. So for the lizard lunge, your front knee still over your front heel. Your right toes might turn out a little bit to the right, but I want you to think about your knee being exactly pointing in the same direction as your front toes. So sometimes, depending on if there's anything going on in the knee or the ankle or the hip, sometimes our toes can be turned forward, but our knee is out. I just want you to match the angle of your toes and your knee, whatever your story is. And you can come up onto fingertips, or you have that block around, so you might even choose to place one or both hands on the block. I really like to turn the fingertips towards the back foot, straighten out the arms, and stretch the wrists and forearms while I'm here. And then, like I said, a little glide side to side should feel pretty good in the hollow creases of your hips. And then you can stay, or we'll keep going with that twisting, back bending, left hand comes to the left. Sweep your right arm across your chest all the way up towards the ceiling. So you bend into your left knee, reach back and around, and if there's space, capture the pinky toe side of your back foot. Squeeze your left bum. Squeeze the middle back. Lift your chest forward. Take one more deep breath in. And slow as you exhale, release your back foot down, unwind. Place your right hand down, step back, downward facing dog. Left heel high, deep breath in. Bend your knee, stack your hip, head super heavy as you exhale. Spike up onto your right tippy toes, bend your left toes to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, left foot steps outside of left pinky finger. Back knee comes down to the ground. Knee and toes are pointing in the same direction of the left foot. Choose your arm variation, not staying too long, and glide your way side to side. And if you're happy lingering here through center, then do just that. Or you can place your right hand out towards the right, swim your left arm across your chest, and then rotate open towards the left as you bend into your back knee. And if you can't reach your foot, that's okay. You can still bend your back knee, and it's strengthening the back of the leg and opening the front of the leg. If you can hold onto your foot, then it's more stretch than strengthen. Resist hand to foot, foot to hand, curl your chest forward, squeeze your back muscles. Good, one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly let that twist go. Left hand comes down, right hand comes down, back toes tuck under. Please step back, downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, come up onto your tippy toes. And as you exhale, come all the way down onto your knees. With your toes tucked, stand onto your knees. Let's add an extra little layer. So since we all have a block or a book or something, bring it in between your knees at the shortest level. So like this. Okay, in between your knees, and just give it a little soft embrace. And what happens as you squeeze your knees together, the thighs have more of an inclination to rotate internally. So if you think about your thigh bones spiraling in, as that happens, the lower back widens and more willingly flattens. Okay, so just unsqueeze your block. And I have, my lower back is always very willing to curve. That's pretty prominent in my body. So by squeezing the block between the inner thighs helps guide the tailbone down. So then again, we can focus on the bend coming from the middle upper back. Tuck your toes. Tailbone anchors. Arms reach forward. Lean back any amount. Take your breath in, keep squeezing your inner thighs, and then squeeze your inner thighs to rise back up. Go 2 more times, breathe in, lean back. And then as you exhale, rise up. This is one of those movements, the first few times you do it, you're just like, this doesn't feel like anything, or it feels terrible. And then if you stick with it, I guess like most of these movements, you start to get it and you start to feel it land really sweetly in your body. I thought for today we could lean back, just bring your right heel towards, or your right hand towards your right heel. Lean a little to the right as you sweep your left arm up and overhead. Open up your chest, and then place your left hand towards your left heel. Squeeze your buttocks from the outside to the inside. Lift your middle upper back and squeeze your inner thighs. Press down, rise up. And then we'll go the other way. So 3 times, hands forward, lean back, breathe in. Press down, rise up as you exhale. Keep squeezing through your inner thighs so that the inner quadriceps too are also working for you. Squeeze in, lean back, breathe in. Squeeze in, rise up, breathe out. One more time, leaning back, and then this time the left hand comes to your left heel. Circle your right arm up and overhead. Chest is open as you place your right hand onto your right heel. Squeeze inner thighs, squeeze outer buttocks, squeeze middle back, lift your chest. And then press down, rise up. And then we'll do one right down through the center like we've been doing. And again, I won't talk you out of this one. You just stay as long as you want to. Okay, so 3 times, lean back, squeeze in, breathe in. Press down, rise up, breathing out. 2 more. And last one. Good. This time as you lean back, pause, hands on heels, squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your outer buttocks, squeeze your middle back to open up your chest. Lift your sternum to your chin, and if you'd like, chin can come up, eyes can fall back. Grip your middle back, outer buttocks in, inner thighs to the block. So you stay as long as you'd like to, and then when you're ready, come on down, slip that block underneath of your bum. Just resist child's pose or curving your spine. Just sit there and feel what you feel. It's nice to place one hand over your chest. Okay. So slowly, if your eyes are closed, blink them open. And again, since we have the block or book, if you have your book, have it on the flat setting so it doesn't tip over. If you have a block, you have a couple more options. So we're going to do Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, just a variation of the bridge posture with the block underneath of our lower back. Okay, so you'll come on down, bend your knees, press your feet, lift your hips, and it feels really nice, honestly, with the flattest level. And you'll want to find your sacrum, which is, the best way I can explain it is your block comes right above your butt crack. So there's a flat triangular bone that sits just at the base of the spine, and it's called your sacrum, and it communicates with your pelvis. So if you think about the base of your spine being like a triangle, that's the sacrum. And then there's the 2 wings of your pelvis that you've probably seen like on one of those skeletons or on a picture of a skeleton. That's your pelvis. And bones love pressure. So when we let ourselves sink down onto pressure like this, whether it's your book or your block, the bones get an opportunity to feel the compression that they crave. If you have a block and you feel like you could take a little bit more pressure, come up onto your tiptoes, squeeze your butt to lift your hips, and just tip your block up 1 level. Again, the block lands right just above your bum crack. And then again, let your back, let your hips settle onto the pressure of your block. Your legs shouldn't feel like they're doing anything here. So if they do, consider that walking them further forward or further backwards. You can even let your knees fall in towards one another. That's no big deal. What I'm more interested in is the widening of the sacrum and the compression against the bones. And then it might feel nice for you to have your hands on your hip bones, on your belly or ribs, or even out and up and overhead like a Y. Now you let go all of that, holding the ribs in, squeezing the buttocks. Let all of that start to soften. And you might feel a deeper relationship with the force of gravity when you do that. When you let go, when you let in. Okay. So slowly crawl your feet towards you. Come onto your tippy toes, squeeze your bum to come off of your block. Move your block off to the side and just let your hips, your low back settle down. Do bring your feet wide, let your knees fall in towards one another. And then take any last shapes that you need, but we'll start to work our way into Shavasana. Outstretch one leg and then the other, one arm and then the other. If you like to sit, come up and sit. Good work. That was hard. So yeah, continue to let go of all of the effort now and just let yourself be held and supported. And sometimes we forget, but I'll give you the reminder that we build all of this strength and we put in all of the effort during the practice, and then it's in Shavasana and it's in the rest that it starts to integrate. To really give yourself a moment to rest and receive, and a softness around your edges. Let's clear with one more good breath. Inhale all the way. One side, clear, exhale. So, of course, if you'd like to stay, then just stay as you are. But maybe let's all place the hands somewhere on the body, somewhere that brings you peace. Makes you feel connected. And if you're coming up, roll off to one side. Turn down to come up. Connect your palms in front of your chest. Exhale all your air. And take a slow, smooth, complete inhalation. Om. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.